In a dark mine, a boy swings his pickaxe relentlessly, but what he wants isn't priceless gems, but the mysterious liquid seeping from the rock walls. Because compared to gems that possess only empty value, this liquid can truly change his fate. This is the most precious treasure in the entire world, ink. At this moment, a cat-like creature jumps onto his shoulder. Thank you so much, Nero. Without you, I'd never have gotten the ink. If I bring the ink back, the pioneering core might actually accept me. He is K and lives in a world where color is extremely monotonous. Everything outside the city where people live is black. At this moment in the shining city, citizens eagerly await. It turns out that the colorists of the pioneering core have returned. In this world where black constantly erodes other colors, they fought to protect the shining city. Look at those vibrant colors. Absolutely amazing. Of course. I heard they even took down giant creatures this time. They truly deserve to be called heroes. As long as they're here, the Shining City will surely stay safe. Meanwhile, the scene shifts to the Shadow District where people sign up for the C-rank Pioneering Corps exam. K, who worked so hard to obtain ink, is ruthlessly thrown out by the person in charge. How many times do I have to tell you? This place isn't for someone like you. Why? I even brought the ink. What's the problem then? Can't even the ink prove I'm qualified? You're so annoying. Do I have to spell it out before you give up? Listen carefully, you are colorless. People are born with their roles already decided, but sometimes fools like you who don't know their place pop out of nowhere. The man raises his left hand. Listen well, you damn colorless. In an instant, the temperature around K spikes. Flames begin swirling around him. Only when the man lowers his hand does the scorching heat gradually fade. Pioneers, only those chosen like us can become one, because the weak cannot survive in the black lands. Beyond this city lies pitch black darkness. Monsters called creatures hide in that darkness. To obtain resources and treasures, we risk our lives pioneering unknown lands. For humanity's future, we've staked everything. We're heroes worthy of the name, and a colorless like you could never do it. You should live a colorless life since you are colorless. Get lost. Don't show your face again. If there's a next time, I'll kill you. After they slam the door, Nero immediately emerges from K's arms to comfort him. K pats its head. It's fine, there are still many places I can go. I'm used to this by now, so don't worry. Didn't we promise? I will become the best colorist. K gently pushes Nero's head down. Get back inside. What if someone sees you? After all, there's more than one pioneering corps. K believes that if he tries enough places, he'll eventually find a team leader willing to accept him. However, he doesn't notice a green-haired man watching him from upstairs. The man witnessed every interaction between K and Nero. Time flies by. K can't even remember how many pioneering corps he's visited. His thick notebook is already covered with crosses. As expected today, he can't join any corps either. After a day of rejections, K arrives at a workshop, covered in exhaustion. Mari, I'm back. Hearing his voice, the girl stops her work. Come in, K. Like K, Mari is also colorless. Seeing his dejected state, Mari knows that he failed again. Those guys have no vision. Your skills far exceed ordinary pioneers. K just shakes his head helplessly. But they don't accept someone who is colorless. There's nothing I can do. But don't you often bring things back from the Black Lands? Isn't that enough to prove your abilities? Actually, I can only bring those things back thanks to Nero. Anyway, can you buy this, Mari? Of course. I'll give you a good price. I'm currently worried about not having enough ink. That's also why all the pioneering corps are recruiting right now. After all, our lives depend on ink. K is confident he can do as well as others, but no corps will take him. Hearing this, Mari asks if he'll consider the corps she mentioned before, but K thinks that's a bit too ambitious. Don't say such discouraging things. How will you know the result if you don't try? This is a rare opportunity. It turns out this is the recruitment notice for the S-rank Dawn Pioneering Corps, which clearly states based on ability, K has been reluctant to sign up because he feels he'll fail. After all, it's an S-rank corps. Mari continues persuading him. This is a great chance. Just give it a shot. They value strength there. Maybe they'll recognize you. Didn't you say your dream is to become a colorist? This has been your dream since childhood. Whatever you do will always support you. After her encouragement, K finally regains his confidence and decides to sign up for the Dawn Pioneering Corps. However, there isn't much time left before the exam, and K still has a lot to prepare. Just as he's about to buy those things, Nero in his clothes shows unusual behavior. At this moment, K doesn't notice that in the alley behind him, a man silently picks up a weapon, and it is none other than the one who was watching K at the core earlier. By the time K senses something's off, it's too late. Almost the instant he turns around, the attack hits him. This colorless didn't die? Did you miss just now? It doesn't matter. Anyway, he'll definitely die. No one will care if one colorless like him goes missing. Before passing out, K only sees Nero crying desperately. After who knows how long, K finally wakes up. Right now, he's being held above a pool of black water. You're really unlucky to be thrown in here alive. This is ink waste, produced by mixing inks of various colors. It's extremely lethal to humans. Once you fall in, not even your bones will remain. So there's no better place to dispose of a body. K struggles and demands, "Who are you? Why did you attack me?" Hearing this, the man shows a greedy smile. You know, I was shocked too. I never expected to find such a treasure in the Shadow District. You actually a creature with human-level intelligence. That's quite a rarity. As he speaks, he looks toward the cage holding Nero. Realizing Nero has been captured, K frantically punches the man's arm. Unfortunately, he's too weak. Seeing this, the man tightens his grip on K's collar. It should fetch a good price on the black market. Being with a colorless like you is such a waste. A miserable childhood has long made K used to discrimination from others, but he absolutely cannot accept someone taking away his only family for such a reason. Stop your nonsense. As if influenced by his emotions, a faint trace of black begins seeping from K's body. The moment the black appears, intense unease surges in the man's heart. heart. He feels as if something inside him is being drained by K. He had planned to humiliate this Colorless more, but now he'll have to let him off easy. K, who falls into the ink waste, doesn't disappear as the man said. He desperately wants to save Nero, but his body no longer obeys him. He never imagined his life would end so abruptly like this. Intense unwillingness supports his last bit of consciousness. He hasn't fulfilled that promise yet. At this moment, he hears a strange voice. What are you doing? Why aren't you doing anything? Accept it. Do what you can. Don't just wait for death. Nero is waiting for you to save it. Accept it, K. Accept the color that truly belongs to you. The instant the voice fades, all the ink waste surges into K's body. In an instant, all the black here dissipates. The surroundings turn pure white. In this pure white space, the only black is K. He can't remember what happened, doesn't know why he's here, doesn't know what to do, or even who he is. But at this moment, he hears a familiar voice from above. He looks toward the sound and it's Nero crying. K suddenly remembers he needs to save Nero. He reaches out toward those two men. From the perspective of the two men, they only see a surging mass of black rushing toward them. They're stunned, not knowing what's happening. The moment K was thrown in, the ink waste mysteriously disappeared. Then a black unknown substance appeared. The man suddenly realizes that black thing seems to be a creature. Soon after, the authorities cordon off the ink waste site. Nearby citizens report what they saw with panicked expressions. A giant hand suddenly emerged from that place and leveled the entire area. However, the recorder doesn't take these unbelievable statements seriously. Suddenly, a red-haired man called Reed speaks. Fortunately, there were only two victims this time. The woman behind him replies, "Yes, they were from a B-rank pioneering corps with bad reputations. I don't understand. What happened to them? Why did they suddenly lose their color?" Reed says that although this is important, they should set it aside for now. After all, they came here to deal with the creature that suddenly appeared in the city. Colorist. The staff member in charge rushes over, out of breath. "It's such an honor. What brings you two to our shadow district?" Reed asks him not to be nervous and explains that someone commissioned them to investigate the creature incident. "I'd like to see the scene. Can you take us there?" "Of course. This way, please." Upon arriving at the scene, they begin searching for clues. To their surprise, there really are traces left by a creature, but they recently tracked the locations of all reported giant creatures. So a creature suddenly appeared in the city like this. Although it's in the outskirts, it's still strange. After all, the most one can see in the city are small, harmless species. Lavian worries if a new mutation has occurred, but Reed says it's too early to jump to conclusions. Now, more importantly, how will they track that creature? It's quite troublesome, because according to the clues left at the scene, that giant creature has already fled into the Black Lands. After who knows how long, Kay, regaining some consciousness, begins calling for Nero. Seeing him awake, Nero climbs onto his head and licks his hair. The first thing Kay does after waking up is touch Nero. "Nero, I'm so glad you're okay." After confirming Nero is safe, Kay begins recalling what happened. He remembers being thrown into the ink by that damn man, entering a strange place, and finally turning into something black. Thinking of this, Kay suddenly looks at his hands. He can hardly believe that he actually gained color from that ink waste. He doesn't know how this happened. Suddenly, Kay notices the surroundings seem particularly dark. He wonders where he is. In this situation, there's only one way to confirm his current location. "Nero, I need your help." After he speaks, Nero jumps into the air and begins spinning rapidly. In the blink of an eye, all the black on its body fades away, replaced by brilliant white. With this light, Kay easily sees the surrounding environment. When he sees those creatures, he's completely stunned. Only the does he discovers he's actually in the Black Lands. Moreover, he's in the Black Forest region, accessible only to B-rank or higher pioneers. What's more, the surrounding creatures are slowly closing in on him. With no choice, he hurriedly takes Nero and flees this dangerous place. Although Kay, as a human, can barely see the creatures hidden in darkness, the glowing Nero can. With Nero's warnings, Kay avoids the dangers lurking in the darkness. This is why, despite being colorless, he could retrieve ink from the Black Lands before. After calming down, Kay finally notices something odd. His physical condition is too good. Despite running for so long, he doesn't feel tired at all. And compared to before, his movements are noticeably more agile. He even uses too much force if he's not careful. Just as Kay can't help but marvel, he hears Nero's urgent warning. It turns out a creature has quietly approached him, but in this situation, he has no way to dodge this close-range attack. Instinctively, he blocks with his arm, only to shatter the creature's teeth instead. The creature flees in panic. Kay freezes, not expecting his body to have reached this level of strength. He had prepared for serious injury, but nothing happened. Is this the power of color? But before he can celebrate, he hears Nero's warning again. A giant creature has appeared before him. The moment he sees it clearly, Kay truly panics. The creature before him is a Cyclops, a predator that only appears in the depths of the Black Forest. Before Kay can figure out why the Cyclops is here, its fist comes crashing down. With so much happening in such a short time, Kay doesn't react immediately. Seeing Kay get hit, Nero quickly flies to his side. Fortunately, thanks to the power of color, Kay isn't seriously injured. He even feels he can defeat the Cyclops before him. This is the power he's longed for. He no longer needs to run. What he needs to do now is recall that feeling from before. Like before, the seeping black quickly envelops his body. Coincidentally, the Cyclops launches its second attack at this moment. This time, Kay simply raises his fist. The Cyclops' massive body can't stop his fist at all. The terrifying predator from deep in the Black Forest is shattered into pieces with one punch. However, what Kay doesn't expect is that after throwing this punch, he sees something different. It's color. The pitch black lands actually show color. But before he can think more, the black enveloping him begins to dissipate. Fortunately, when he falls, the color hasn't completely disappeared, so he avoids injury. But if he truly reverts to colorless in this place, he'll surely die. What are you doing? The food is right in front of you. Eat it quickly. Faintly, Kay hears that familiar voice again. You don't want to die, right? It's simple. Just reach out your hand. Following the voice's instructions, he places his hand on the Cyclops' corpse. In an instant, massive amounts of black are frantically absorbed into his body. Even Nero nearby is frightened by this eerie scene. After absorbing the black, Kay regains his color. He finally survives. A few days after Kay's disappearance, a cloaked figure arrives at Mari's workshop. Welcome. What can I do for you? Or do you have a commission for us? But the figure doesn't answer, only keeps approaching Mari. Customer, do you know how suspicious you look right now? Stop coming closer. If you come any closer, I'll smash you with this wrench. But hearing her words, the cloaked man isn't scared. Instead, he seemed more excited. Just as Mari prepares to swing the wrench, she hears an incredibly familiar voice. Calm down, Mari. It's me. The cloaked man is Kay. Since you didn't recognize me at first, I thought I'd scare you a bit. But seeing his current appearance, Mari is even more shocked. Afterward, Kay tells her what happened over the past few days. That infuriates me. I'll never forgive those guys. People like that deserve to have their heads smashed with a hammer. Kay quickly reassures her. It's really fine, Mari. I've already gotten my revenge. After calming down, Mari is relieved Kay survived. I can't believe you gained color from ink waste. But black the color of monsters. Could it? Kay interrupts her. No matter what color it is, it's not important. What matters is I've seized the chance to become a colorist. Let's set other things aside now. I want to go straight to the core entrance exam. Luckily, I made it back before the deadline. So Mari, can you lend me some clothes and equipment? I'll definitely pay you back. Mari sighs helplessly. How many times is this now? Well, I'll consider these things an investment in a future colorist. As she speaks, she grabs his hand. Come with me. I have some things that are sure to suit you. Soon after, people gradually gather at the Dawn Pioneering Core exam site. Since this is an S-rank core, the scale is much larger than ordinary exams. The candidates discuss among themselves. So many people showed up. I'm getting nervous. It's normal to be nervous. The competition this time is fierce. I can't believe we're here for the Dawn Pioneering Core exam. It's been quite hard along the journey. For us pioneers, isn't joining a top core everyone's dream? As the S-rank Dawn Pioneering Core with multiple colorists, they've achieved the most in exploring the Black Lands. They're truly the hope of the Shining City. For this reason, today's exam attracts many powerful candidates, including the second daughter of a traditional color family and a renowned bounty hunter. There are even some who achieved great success in recent pioneering activities. However, the most notable among them is Gale. Many candidates think his passing the exam is a sure thing. His strength is formidable. It's said he can take down many creatures alone. However, he's rumored to be brutal and frequently causes trouble. For this reason, his previous core kicked him out. Hearing this, one candidate boasts, "Are you guys scared? With a little training, defeating someone like that would be as easy as lifting a finger. He's right behind you. Why don't you say that to his face? That might not be a good idea." In fact, Gale heard everything they said, but he can't be bothered to respond. How boring. I only came because I heard it's an S-rank core exam. Is this all there is? Just ordinary nobodies? Not a single one catches my eye. If he had to pick someone who could barely be his opponent, it would only be that girl. Ellie Cyan, second daughter of the Cyan family. Suddenly, the loudspeaker at the venue sounds. Attention all candidates. The Dawn Pioneering Core entrance exam now begins. After the announcement, 3 people slowly walk onto the central platform. Without a doubt, these 3 are the Dawn Pioneering Core colorists. I heard they just achieved great success in the recent giant creature subjugation. I didn't expect them to appear at the preliminary exam. The Dawn Pioneering Corps really values this recruitment. This is my first time being so close to them. The pressure is overwhelming. An S-rank core is truly different. After gesturing for everyone to quiet down, the man speaks. Hello everyone. Thank you for signing up for our Dawn Pioneering Corps entrance exam. I believe everyone standing here has their own mission and goals. Whether for money, fame, or something else, none of that matters. Whatever you want to obtain requires matching strength. We only want those who truly possess strength. Only overwhelming powerhouses qualified to enter the Black Lands with us. We don't need second-rate people. So let's not waste time and begin. You've probably guessed, the preliminary exam is an elimination round. For pioneers, combatability is most important. Outside the city is a world where the strong prey on the weak only meet death. So prove your true strength here. I will select who advances to the next round based on the first elimination round results. Now, those whose numbers are called, please step onto the arena. The first match is number 126 versus number 286. Unexpectedly, Gale is first up. The candidates discuss how his opponent is in for trouble. At this moment, Gale can't hide the smile on his face. He can finally enjoy the thrill of battle. But when he sees his opponent, he instinctively pauses, because that number 286 across from him looks like a very ominous guy. Moreover, he can tell his opponent has little combat experience, for his entire stance is full of openings. Whatever. If I keep waiting, it'll just be the same boring result anyway. Since the stage is set, there's no need to hold back anymore. Seeing Gale swing his sword, many below are amazed. That's the Gale sword! I can't believe he can use swordsmanship so skillfully at such a young age. He's truly a genius. Are you ready? I'm starting. Try to block my attacks. If you can't, don't blame me for not holding back. As Gale speaks, he charges toward his opponent. Just as he predicted, his opponent has almost no real combat experience. So in his view, this sword strike will decide the match. But what he doesn't expect is that the guy's fist strikes first, landing precisely on his face. Moreover, the punch's power is tremendous. He's blasted right out of the arena. In an instant, everyone is stunned speechless by this scene. Because Gale, who practically had one foot in the Dawn Pioneering Corps, actually lost in the very first match, and his opponent used just one punch to knock him unconscious. Gale's opponent is none other than Kay. The moment Kay's hat slips off, everyone is stunned. Am I seeing things? This guy's hair is black. That's the same black as creatures. How can this color appear on a human? Was it the power of black that just defeated the Gale sword? Seeing the reactions around him, Kay can't help but wonder, did he do something wrong? After defeating Gale, K with his black hair becomes everyone's nightmare. No one can even force him to use his full power. To his opponents, he's an absolute madman. Because K has no technique whatsoever, he just tanks attacks and charges straight at them. He doesn't have any fancy skills either, he only has just those simple fists. Yet it's precisely this fighting style that wins him all his matches. That guy is pretty good. He's the best among all applicants this time. Plus, he's the first black to appear. It's only a matter of time before word spreads. Why don't we take this chance to recruit him? Just as the three discuss K's situation, a familiar voice comes from behind them. Thank you all for overseeing this exam. You've worked hard. The people who just arrived are none other than Reed and Lavian, who previously investigated the ink waste. Team leader Reed, what brings you here? I was passing by, so I dropped in. Is the exam going smoothly? I thought you went to handle that commission? That hasn't made any progress. I'm still struggling with it. By the way, are there any promising candidates in this exam? You can look forward this time. Besides the daughter from the Cyan family, there's one very special candidate, but before they can say who the other is, Reed already notices K below. It's black. Yes, as expected, you spotted it immediately. He defeated another famous top candidate and won all his matches by overwhelming them. He can basically be considered a new core member. However, Lavian suddenly speaks up. Team leader Reed, could he be? Most likely. After that incident, a new color suddenly appears. That's too coincidental. We need to keep observing him. At this moment, K is completely unaware of the two who already suspect him. He's still absorbed in his newly gained power. With this power, I can definitely become a pioneer. The only thing he needs to be careful about now is avoiding using too much power, lest he revert to being colorless again. Just as K plans for the next exam, a massive ice pillar suddenly appears before him. Without a doubt, these ice pillars come from number 17, Ellie, the color from the Cyan family. No matter when you see it, you can't help but admire it. As expected of a daughter of a traditional color family, she's truly terrifying. Who could possibly defeat such an opponent? Hearing the discussions around him, K can't help but look several times as Ellie passes by. However, his blatant staring naturally catches Ellie's attention. Unlike K, even after being noticed, Ellie's gaze doesn't waver at all, which makes Kay even wonder if he offends her somehow. Shortly after the elimination round ends, the exam supervisor announces the list of those who passed the first round. We've already wasted too much time. There's no time to rest now. The next round begins immediately. Those eliminated, please come back and prepare for next time. Just as he's about to announce the second round's content, a hand suddenly lands on his shoulder. Wait a moment. I'd like to personally oversee this second round. The moment they see Reed, all the candidates below are terrified, because he's one of the top colorists in the Shining City, famous for retaking the Black Lands and holding the highest number of creature subjugation achievements. His terrifying destructive power makes even being his partners dangerous. Moreover, exams he oversees historically have almost no one passing. Is this really okay? If the captain finds out you changed the exam content without permission, won't she be angry? It's fine. I'm used to it anyway. After speaking, Reed turns his gaze back to the candidates below. Listen carefully, everyone. The test of the second round is simple. Just endure. The next second, terrifying power surges from his body, directly covering the entire exam site. When everyone comes to their senses, they find themselves enclosed in a red barrier. I've recreated the environment of a certain region I experienced. It might be a bit hot. The Blacklands have many unbearable harsh environments. Compared to those, this is just a slightly hot furnace. As long as you can endure, you'll pass this exam. But if you can't even withstand this temperature, it means you never had the qualifications to enter the Blacklands. Hearing this, everyone is stunned. This is just furnace level? They can't help but wonder just how terrifying the Blacklands truly are. Many candidates try attacking the red barrier, only to find they can't even leave a mark on it. There were rumors within the Dawn Pioneering Corps that Reed had neglected his training, but witnessing his displayed strength firsthand, they realized that's complete nonsense. To use barriers on so many people present in an instant, what terrifying control that requires. This is the strength possessed by the man who once stood at the pinnacle. Just as everyone prepares to endure to the end, they suddenly notice one of the red barriers has turned blue. The moment the blue barrier shatters, a cold blast hits them. The first person to break through the barrier is Ellie. She's good. Despite it being a power that counters her abilities, she broke through the barrier in such a short time. She's truly a rare genius. However, Reed doesn't linger on Ellie for long. He immediately begins searching the crowd for Kay. In fact, the reason he intervened in this exam was to personally test this black-haired guy. But until now, Kay still hasn't broken through the barrier. Reed can't help feeling disappointed. However, he doesn't know that Kay, currently inside the barrier, is already panicking inside. Because he doesn't know how to control his strength, he already consumed a large amount of color in the previous battles. The longer he endures now, the faster his color depletes. His hair is even beginning to fade. He doesn't dare imagine what would happen if he reverted to colorless in front of so many people. If he wants to break this situation, he must find a way to absorb some color. Thinking of this, he suddenly looks at the barrier before him. After all, this barrier was also created by Reed using color. Does this mean it can also be absorbed? Kay begins recalling how he absorbed the Cyclops' color before. After finding that same feeling, he gently places his hand on the barrier. But before he's ready to absorb, the black attached to his hand spreads through the red barrier at extreme speed. And not just his barrier. All the candidates' barriers are absorbed by him. Moreover, as more barriers are absorbed, more black spreads from his palm. Eventually, a black sphere enveloping him appears. Even the well-experienced Reed is shocked by the scene before him. It's truly unexpected. It looks like we have got a real lunatic this time. When the black on K disappears, all eyes are focused on him. But this wasn't his intention. He suddenly realizes he might have caused big trouble. Ellie stands frozen to the side. This exam is extremely important to her. She wanted to showcase her abilities and bring glory to her family. But in this exam, An unprecedented color has appeared. Inevitably, a subtle anxiety creeps into her heart. In the family, she has always been told she must be the best. Moreover, she doesn't want to disappoint her sister, so she doesn't want to lose to anyone. But that guy named K is simply too strong. Those opponents couldn't even force him to use his color. Ellie can't guarantee that she could defeat him in battle. Moreover, within his color, there seems to be something that can't be described as mere power. It is something she has never seen before. At this moment, Ellie forcibly interrupts her own thoughts. After all, now is not the time to worry about these things. No matter what K's identity is, she swears next time won't be like this. At this moment, Reed suddenly wraps his arm around K's shoulder from behind. Was that the black color's ability you just displayed? No wonder the aura alone is wild, sucking everything in and all that. I can't help but ask more when I encounter something curious. Can you tell me more about black? To protect your privacy, let's talk privately, but K worries about what to do with the rest of his exam. Don't worry, you've done well enough. I'll let you pass directly. Hearing this, K freezes. He actually passed directly? Could being too conspicuous be a good thing? But either way, he has finally achieved his dream. Of course, Reed is scolded by the exam supervisor for his reckless behavior. You really do whatever you want. The exam isn't even over yet. Red quickly apologizes. Sorry, I'll pay you back later. So overlook it just this once. The official has no choice but to announce, everyone, attention! Due to unexpected circumstances, the exam has been interrupted. But the exam will continue, except for candidate number 17 who just broke through the barrier. Everyone else will continue with the second round makeup exam. Hearing this, Ellie silently gazes in the direction where Kay and Reed are leaving. Before long, Reed brings Kay to another location. After getting out of the car, Kay is completely stunned, because the place Reed brought him to is clearly where he fell into the ink waste before. This place looks pretty messy, right? Because something happened here not long ago. Two pioneers who originally had colors suddenly became colorless. This is the first time that has happened. According to eyewitness reports, they saw a giant creature. It is indeed not good news that a giant creature appeared in the city. More worse, we haven't found any trace of it. But not long after, you coincidentally appeared with this black color that has never existed before, and you possess this unprecedented ability to absorb other colors. Hearing these words, Kay guesses that Reed already knows his secret. He wants to run, but he knows very well that it is absolutely impossible for him to escape from Red. If colorists are heroes, then Reed is a hero among heroes. Unexpectedly, Reed starts to calm Kay's emotions instead. I was just testing you a bit. I didn't expect such a big reaction. It is less interesting. Although my task is to investigate the cause and effect of this incident, I'm more interested in your ability than that. I've never seen black, or the ability you use. The power of colors seems simple, but normally, they cannot mix together. What surprises me is that your ability can directly ignore these complex relationships. Moreover, in the exam just now, I noticed you seem unable to control your power. Devouring everything around you was probably unexpected for you too. In an instant, Kay starts stuttering. He didn't expect that after such brief contact, Reed could see through him so thoroughly. Next, Reed proposes to test his ability. Hearing this, Kay agrees. After all, he also wants to understand this black power. I want to know how strong your ability is, and what kind of feeling it is. So, try to absorb my power. Hearing this, Kay panics. What if something bad happens to you? It's fine. Don't worry about me. Just do as I say. Use your power to absorb my color. In fact, Reed deceived Kay. He is not completely unfamiliar with black, because black is the symbol of the Black Lands and the Black Witch, and an ominous sign that devours everything. They could never allow such a terrifying ability to develop without any restraints. Moreover, depending on how it's used, it could shake the foundation of the Shining City. Although not publicly announced, Red knows that humanoid creatures actually exist in this world. He has already made up his mind. If Kay is the same as those creatures, he would take Kay out by any means necessary. In the worst case, they might directly fight within the city. I see, I'll try, Kay says as he grabs Reed's arm. Let me ask you again. No matter what happens next, is it really okay? After receiving his affirmative answer, Kay begins absorbing his color. After he activates his ability, he can clearly feel an incredibly vibrant red surging into his body. As the color gradually flows into his body, Kay feels as if he's immersed in molten lava. Almost instantly, he loses control of his own body. But no matter how much he absorbs, red before him remains bottomless. Through this brief contact, Reed also senses that the black within Kay is incredibly hungry, constantly absorbing his color without pause. However, perhaps because it's still immature, strong people would be able to resist this absorption, but this power is still very dangerous for most people. Reed knows that what Kay has shown so far is not the full extent of his ability. He is very curious how Kay will use the colors he absorbs. Just as he thinks this, the black within Kay seeps out uncontrollably, and mixed within that black is quite a bit of red. Almost at the same moment Red pulls his hand back, the color on Kay completely goes berserk. The half of his body dominated by black seems to be fighting Kay for control of his entire body. At this point, judging only by appearance, calling Kay a creature wouldn't be an exaggeration. Only now does Reed become certain that the giant hand that appeared that day must have been caused by Kay. But he has no time to dwell on that now. The urgent matter is to stop Kay before he goes berserk again. But just 1 second before he's about to act, he notices something unusual. It turns out that although the voice within Kay is constantly craving the vibrant red before him, Kay is not influenced by that voice. He still has consciousness and is struggling to regain control of his body. The next second, the black and red attached to his body is forced out. Even someone as experienced as Reed does not expect this to happen. At this moment, Kay is breathing heavily. He doesn't know why this power went berserk either. And it happens right in front of the legendary Reed. Just thinking about it makes Kay feel terrified. He knows he must find a way to figure out this power. I'm really sorry. I absorbed a bit too much power just now, so I panicked a little. Does this count as success? Hearing this, Reed can't help but laugh. It is really interesting. We've tested enough now. By the way, you know I'm in charge of handling the incident that occurred at this location. Since I accepted the commission, I must help them find the culprit. If I'm not mistaken, that suspect seems to be standing right in front of me. I should remind you, quite a few people are interested in this case, and you're so conspicuous. Once they hear rumors about your ability and color, they'll easily point fingers at you. And although this is the city outskirts, these damages amount to at least several hundred million, right? Can you afford that? Even setting money aside, if they judge your ability too dangerous, they might exile you. In the worst case, you could end up as a lab rat. Hearing this, Kay is completely dumbfounded, because what Reed says hit him right where it hurts. Reed continues, speaking of which, I'm currently short one subordinate. If you're willing to work under me, perhaps. Before he even finishes, Kay makes his decision. I'm in your care. But Reed isn't helping Kay settle these matters for free. He demands that Kay fulfill several requirements. In Kay's eyes, anything is better than owing an astronomical debt or becoming some laboratory's test subject. So he agrees without thinking. However, a chilling laugh reaches his ears. Really? You're really willing to do anything? After becoming Reed's subordinate, Kay soon has his first exploration mission. Because this is his first mission, he's inevitably a bit nervous. Black hair. Can't you stay still? You're making me nervous too. Can't you just sit properly? Although Kay's dream was to participate in exploration missions as a member of the pioneering corps, these two partners beside him have undoubtedly shattered his fantasy. After all, one looks like he has violent tendencies and constantly speaks rudely to others. The other is a young lady from a traditional color family who seems to look down on everyone. It turns out that after their conversation that day, Reed told Kay to follow him on the next exploration. I've got my eye on an exploration site. I need your help. At that moment, Kay froze in shock. After all, everyone knows Reed is an existence more terrifying than creatures. Don't worry, I'm not sending you alone. The newly selected rookies will also participate. Before long, the Pioneering Corps will announce the exploration route for this operation. I'll tell you the specifics later. You just need to arrange your time and show up at the designated location at the designated time. Then Reed left, leaving Kay standing there completely bewildered. A few days later, when he gets in the vehicle, he learns that Gale and Ellie will also be on this exploration mission with him. It is said that due to Reed's intervention, uncontrollable variables appear during the exam. For the sake of fairness, all candidates are given a second chance. During this process, several exceptionally strong candidates passed more rigorous additional exams and became members of the Pioneering Corps. As for Ellie, who had the best exam results, she proactively requested to join Reed's team. At this moment, Gale's cursing voice rings out in the vehicle again. I never thought I'd be humiliated because of an idiot like you. I just underestimated you back then. If there's a next time, you definitely won't be so lucky. After this exploration ends, I'll definitely challenge you. If Lady Lavian weren't still behind me, I could crush you right now. Unexpectedly, Ellie suddenly speaks up to interrupt him. I advise you to stop because no matter what, you'll just get sent flying by one of his punches. You're no match for Kay. This is just a waste of time. Hearing this, Gale immediately becomes furious. Kay didn't expect Ellie would actually speak up to help him. He suddenly feels like he and Ellie might become friends. Until Ellie speaks again. Even if you want to challenge Kay, you'll have to get in line behind me. When we made eye contact before, he already agreed to spar with me. Kay is completely stunned. When did he agree to spar with her? But Ellie doesn't give him a chance to ask. She turns back to Gale. As for you, loser, just obediently get in line at the back. Seeing the atmosphere in the vehicle drop to freezing, Kay really doesn't know what to do. He can't help but wonder, is it really okay to continue like this? With this doubt, the armored vehicle gets closer and closer to the frontline base. After arriving at the destination, Kay looks around curiously. This is his first time coming to the front line of the Dawn Pioneering Corps. After all, normally he would sneak into the Blacklands alone. Seeing the supply scale of an S-rank Pioneering Corps for the first time, he cannot help but feel shocked. At this moment, a finger quietly pokes his cheek. What are you spacing out about? Only then does he discover that Mari is here too. This is your first mission. Of course I had to come! And Nero came along too. After Mari finishes speaking, Nero emerges from inside her clothes. Thanks for taking care of Nero. For me, it's nothing. Nero is my family too. By the way, I also got the opportunity to participate in Dawn Pioneering Corps. And with my abilities, I'm not bad here either. So it will be great to my experience, just as they're catching up. The organizer in charge of this exploration activity starts calling out. Assembly time is almost here. Everyone come over quickly. We're about to enter the Blacklands. Since Nero is a creature after all, Kay worries that if he brings it along on the exploration with others, there's a great risk of exposing it. So he continues to ask Mari to take care of Nero. Before leaving, Mari reminds him not to act recklessly and to stay safe. After saying goodbye to Kay, she quickly starts comforting Nero in her arms. Unexpectedly, Nero kicks with both legs and jumps straight out of her embrace. Mari is about to call out to Kay, but she suddenly thinks that if Nero is discovered, it might be even more dangerous. And before she can even tell Kay, Nero dives directly into his shadow. At that moment, Mari freezes in place. She has never seen anything like this before. Just as she wants to tell Kay what happens, she looks up to find he has already walked away, chatting with other pioneers who have colors. Worried that she, as someone colorless, might cause trouble for Kay, she can only silently pray in her heart that both Kay and Nero stay safe. Before long, Dawn Pioneering Corps arrives at the designated location. Everyone get ready. We're about to enter the Black Lands. Remember, during exploration, safety must always come first. According to reconnaissance reports, dangerous creatures of unknown identity have appeared in District 21. This is also where an A-rank creature corpse was discovered, making it extremely dangerous. Arancia is halfway through speaking when someone rushes over to report. This is bad. Team leader Reed took a group of rookies and left the main force. He said he's leaving the scene to you, team leader Arancia. At that moment, Arancia feels an extreme headache. That guy is doing this again. I hope he can bring those kids back safely. On the other side, Reed has already brought Kay and the other two deep into the darkness. Team leader, the exploration team seems to have gone somewhere else. Is this okay? Of course it's okay. Our destination was different from theirs to begin with. Hearing this, Kay only dares to complain quietly. But as he walks, he suddenly notices something wrong. Wait, why did you two follow? I remember team leader Reed only brought me. Hearing this, Gale becomes furious. How could I possibly lose to someone like you? Ellie also chimes in from the side. Not everyone can get the guidance from team leader Reed. I can't let you monopolize the benefits. Reed explains that he didn't call Kay here specifically to guide him. It's fine that you followed. You won't get seriously injured anyway, because I'm here. Alright, it's about time we start moving. Just like that, under Reed's watchful eye, the three begin slowly hunting the surrounding creatures. As the second daughter of a traditional color family, Ellie's movements are clearly cleaner and more efficient than the other two. But even so, she still feels considerable pressure. This is the feeling the Blacklands gives people, a suffocating environment and endless monsters. This is something ordinary combat training can never compare to. So from the very beginning, Ellie warns herself to precisely control her power and avoid depleting her color completely. She does this both for more effective action later and because she doesn't want to lose to Kay. However, when she inadvertently glances at Kay, she immediately notices something unusual. Kay, why aren't you using a spoit? You didn't use one during the entrance exam either. However, Kay's answer is simple. Because I don't have a spoit. They're too expensive and I think it's fine even without one, so I've never used a spoit. At that instant, not only Ellie who asked the question, even Gale, who was eavesdropping from the side, is stunned. What does it mean to never use a spoit? A spoit is an essential weapon for pioneers when fighting creatures. To successfully subjugate creatures, pioneers can only die them bit by bit using a spoit. And Kay not using a spoit means he literally beat creatures to death with his fists. Thinking of this, Gale trembles with anger. He simply cannot accept that he was knocked out with one punch by someone who doesn't even use a spoit. You damn bastard! One day I'll beat you into a pulp. Seeing his team members quarrel, Reed shows no intention of stopping them. After all, both Gale and Ellie are genuine geniuses, and Kay can stimulate the growth of both geniuses at once. This is really great. He thinks things should get more and more interesting. Everyone keep it up. We're almost at our destination. Let's finish this quickly and then eat. After a period of fighting, they finally deal with all the nearby creatures. Seeing them all breathing heavily, Reed teases, the real battle hasn't even started yet. Don't get yourselves so worked up. You have 10 minutes to rest, then we move out immediately. Didn't expect to use this much color just here, Gale says as he pulls out a bottle of green ink. Kay can't help but guess that what he's drinking is so-called personal ink. Supposedly, it's ink specially extracted through alchemy that has the effect of replenishing color and restoring stamina, an essential item for pioneers. Because it must be customized according to the buyer's exclusive color, the price is extremely expensive. Seeing them gulp down so much expensive ink, Kay winces inwardly at the cost. He feels somewhat fortunate that his black doesn't need to obtain color like they do. As Kay walks toward the creatures, both Ellie and Gale notice his unusual behavior. Kay, what are you doing? Before he can answer, the corpses of those creatures turn black and surge into his body. Like the other two, after absorbing the creatures, Kay's color and stamina are replenished. But this eerie scene sends chills down the spines of the two behind him. Kay, are you okay? I'm fine. I've done this several times already. You absorbed creatures and you're fine? You're crazy. You can accept something like this without any concern. At this moment, Reed comes to remind them that rest time is over. They should move out. Soon they'll reach the destination of this exploration mission. Not long after, Reed brings them before a massive black barrier. Kay can't help but voice his confusion. A black barrier? What exactly is this thing? Reed explains this is why he brought Kay here. Take a good look first. As soon as he finishes speaking, a vivid red appears in his palm. The instant that power is pushed out, all three feel the terrifying energy it contains. Under normal circumstances, the black barrier in front of them should be destroyed instantly by that red. However, to their surprise, aside from being stained with a trace of red, the barrier shows almost no change. You all saw that, right? If you try to forcibly break it with force, the barrier will actually become even stronger after absorbing the power. In terms of absorbing color, isn't it quite similar to your ability? Reed says as he turns to look at Kay. I think with your ability, you should be able to deal with this black barrier, because inside this barrier is a path leading to the ruins, and our target for this exploration is to find the stela fragments in the ruins. Hearing this, Kay is clearly stunned for a moment. The other two look like they've never heard of it before. What are stela fragments? Judging from Kay's expression, it's clear he should know about stela fragments, but he doesn't say anything, and Reed clearly doesn't want to explain. Anyway, it's something that exists. The Shining City has been searching for it too. I'll tell you more when there's a chance. Right now, our urgent matter is to first deal with this black barrier before us. After the others step back, Kay walks alone up to the black barrier. The instant his hand touches the black barrier, the two blacks produce a violent reaction. However, soon the black from the barrier begins slowly entering Kay's body. Seeing this scene, Reed finally lets out a sigh of relief. In fact, he brought Kay on this exploration specifically to have him absorb this black barrier. While Kay is absorbing the black barrier, for some reason a sharp sound erupts from the surroundings. Making such a commotion in the black lands filled with creatures will undoubtedly attract hordes of creatures. Along the way they had already taken down so many creatures, but in such a short time countless more have emerged from who knows where. Fortunately, after resting they have already recovered their color and stamina. After this, Kay is responsible for dealing with the barrier, while they are responsible for taking down these creatures. Unlike before, this time a faint trace of red appears around Reed, but before he can act, Gale rushes out at extreme speed, splitting every creature in his path in two. Unlike Gale's ferocity, Ellie's every move displays elegance, yet the icicles around her mercilessly crush the creatures that approach her one by one. Reed did indeed plan to help them out, but seeing the current situation, it seems there's no need. What he needs to do is suppress those creatures that approach him and Kay one by one. This batch of rookies truly surprises him, to the point that he decides to keep them by his side in the future. After all, not having to personally deal with these low-level creatures makes exploration much more convenient than before. The strength of these three is so overwhelming that Kay doesn't even notice these suddenly appearing creatures. But this doesn't mean he's relaxed, because he also feels a pulling force from this black barrier. He can't help but wonder, is it because both he and the barrier are black? He inexplicably feels that if he relaxes for even a moment, his power will be absorbed by the barrier before him. Of course, unless something unexpected happens, the absorption he displays is still stronger. After a long time, the black barrier before him finally disappears, and the ruins entrance Reed mentioned is actually a bottomless pit. But Kay doesn't think much of it. Team leader Reed, I've finished absorbing the barrier here. Very good, well done. Kay, as expected, you can do it. After all, the purpose this time is to obtain the Stella fragments. Reed doesn't want to cause more trouble and waste time. The barrier has disappeared. Come over here quickly. No need to kill all the creatures here. Just before he finishes speaking, a white light suddenly flashes in the distance. Almost the instant Reed grabs Gale and Ellie to dodge. Two swift slashes land where they had been standing. And after those two slashes land, they bizarrely transform into a grid pattern. The creatures that were there are almost instantly completely eliminated. Gale and Ellie, who were just pulled back by Reed, narrowly escape death. Seeing this scene, Gale is completely stunned. He has never heard of such a powerful being among creatures. Just now, if Reed had reacted even a moment slower, he and Ellie would definitely be dead beyond dead. Reed knows things wouldn't go so smoothly this time, because the report he received earlier clearly stated there were dangerous creatures nearby, but he didn't expect it to be that particular one. At the same time, someone holding a completely pitch-black sword slowly approaches them. On his body are a full 6 spoits, and the ink in all of them is without exception black. More importantly, his appearance is far too similar to Kay when he goes berserk. So Reed orders them to quickly enter the ruins, and he stays behind to deal with the enemy. Before Kay can say anything, Reed tosses the lamp into his arms. From now on, your mission is to work together to find the Stella fragments. If it's you three, there should be no problem. After saying this, he pushes Kay into the ruins. Team leader Reed, what can just the three of us do? Kay's voice gets quieter and quieter until it completely disappears, and Reed directly confronts the enemy. Judging from their demeanor, this clearly isn't their first encounter. On the other side, Kay has already fallen to the bottom of the ruins. After fumbling around, he finally finds the lamp Reed tossed to him. He instinctively raises the lamp in his hand, but what he sees is an unbelievable scene. Inside these so-called ruins are actually remnants of skyscrapers everywhere. Just from these remnants, it's clear this city was even grander in scale than the Shining City. At this moment, a voice sounds out. It's way too dark here. Let's go somewhere brighter. Kay looks in the direction of the voice. The newcomers are none other than Ellie and Gale. The three successfully reunite, but none of them are quite sure what this place is. That thing called Stella Fragments is somewhere in these ruins. Where are we supposed to find something like that? I don't even know what the thing is. Although Gale keeps complaining, Kay has to admit what he just said isn't unreasonable. In such massive ruins, finding the Stella fragments is nearly impossible. At this moment, Kay can't help but think of Nero. If Nero were here, this wouldn't be so troublesome. Unexpectedly, just as he has this thought, he feels like he hears Nero's voice. It's not until he looks down that he discovers it's not a hallucination. Nero is indeed on his leg right now. To protect Nero's safety, Kay's first thought is to make it hide. Unfortunately, Ellie, who has been watching him, still notices. Is that a creature? Kay immediately thinks this is bad. But on second thought, denial is useless now, and if he becomes a pioneer in the future, he can't keep Nero a secret forever anyway. So he simply decides to come clean with them here and show them how useful Nero is. Thinking this, he directly calls out to them. I have a way now that can help us find the Stella fragments. After that, he roughly tells the two of them about Nero. So you're saying this creature is your pet and it can help us find the Stella fragments? Yes, with its help we can find them quickly. Aren't you talking nonsense? How come I've never heard of such a creature? You ignorant guy. While they argue, Ellie happily holds Nero with an enjoying expression. I really can't be bothered talking to you. You can see it on your own eyes. Nero, let's go. Show this fool just how capable you are. After Kay finishes speaking, Nero jumps into the air and transforms into its white form. At that instant, Gale is stunned, while Ellie rubs her hands together with a disappointed expression. With Nero's help, the visible range around them expands greatly, and their progress speeds up considerably. Although Nero has already proven itself, Gale is still stubborn. This is impossible. A special creature that likes following humans around? I've never heard of such a thing. Where did you even find it? Unfortunately, no one is willing to pay attention to him now. Nero, there are Stella fragments here. You should be able to sense them, right? After Kay finishes speaking, Nero begins searching for the location of the Stella fragments. Before long, in this world full of black, Nero finds some fragments emitting white light. Seeing Nero suddenly accelerate, Kay immediately realizes it has found a clue to the Stella fragments. They follow Nero like this, walking through these ruins for a long time. Finally, Nero stops at what appears to be a cave entrance. Kay didn't expect the Stella fragments would be in a place like that. Gale mouths off provocatively. What are you hesitating for? If you're scared, just stay back. Kay is speechless and says he's not scared at all. Just like that, they follow Nero into the cave. Unlike the dilapidated scene outside, the ancient civilization here seems quite well preserved, and this area is even larger and more spacious than they imagined. They wonder what this place used to be. Just as they're observing their surroundings, Nero suddenly changes direction and flies straight toward a large door. Seeing Nero stop there, Kay knows it must have discovered something. But before they can approach, something massive blocks their path. Seeing this, they instinctively step back half a pace, looking at the scene before them in shock. What's standing before them is actually a giant automaton with ink in its chest. Is this thing also a creature? How come it looks different from those outside? Before they can make a move, the automaton begins scanning their information. After each scan, it generates a strange code based on their color. However, so far this strange automaton hasn't shown any aggression. Is this thing scanning and identifying our colors? What no one expected is that Kay's code cannot be identified. Suddenly, the automaton issues a warning. Black witch color detected, judged as dangerous element. Must eliminate immediately. The next second, the automaton launches an attack at Kay. Because all this happens too suddenly, Kay has no time to dodge. But he still manages to block the attack with his arm before it lands. What's going on? Why did it suddenly attack mid-sentence? Snapping to their senses, Ellie and Gale also act at the same time. Whatever the reason, since it attacked first, let's smash it to pieces. But for some reason, the automaton seems to have eyes only for Kay as an enemy. Moreover, this automaton's body hardness is incredibly exaggerated. It can actually clash directly with Kay. Even in the first wave of exchanges, the automaton seems to have a slight upper hand. Before the automaton's second wave of attacks arrives, Gale and Ellie's attacks finally land. But Ellie quickly discovers that her color's power has absolutely no effect on the automaton. She can't help but wonder, is it because the automaton before them isn't a creature, so color can't work? After scanning around, she locks onto what might be a weak point, the ink in the automaton's chest. While the automaton is busy dealing with their attacks, Kay also charges over. After the previous failure, he starts trying to attack the automaton's weaker connection points. Unexpectedly, the automaton that was just defending suddenly starts attacking Kay again. Through the probing just now, Kay discovers that even the automaton's connection points are very hard. He suddenly thinks that if he could use the move that defeated the Cyclops, it might work. But because that move consumes too much ink, he tries only wrapping his fist in black. Before the automaton's fist arrives, his charge-up is finally complete. Just like with the Cyclops back then, the automaton before him is also blown apart with one punch. Seeing the automaton completely collapse, the three finally breathe a sigh of relief. But Kay notices that although most of the automaton's body is destroyed, the ink container in its chest seems intact. Thinking that Mari usually loves researching these things, he plans to bring this core back to her. At this moment, Gale questions him with dissatisfaction. "You little brat, what was that move just now? If you can use it, why didn't you use it earlier? You made me waste so much color," Kay counters without backing down. "What gives you the right to say that so confidently?" Meanwhile, Ellie asks with a curious attitude, "Kay, isn't your power only able to absorb? Can you explain this? I want to be prepared when I spar with you." Kay explains that that move consumes too much color. If he could, he'd prefer not to use it. At this moment, they also notice that the tightly closed door behind them has opened. From Nero's meaning, it's clear the Stella fragment should be hidden inside the door. Can't see anything inside. Is it really okay? Because it looks similar to the barrier above, Kay is about to try absorbing it. But when he touches this black, a huge mass of black surges out from inside the door. "You reckless guy! Who told you to touch that? Watch out!" They are all immediately sucked into the door. Inside the door is a purely black world. Their colors all turn white here. What's going on? It's too dark here. Can't see anything at all. Are you all okay? At this moment, Gale realizes his color is gone. Where's my color? The color disappeared. What's happening? Why is all the color vanished? While the Dawn Pioneering Corps conducts their exploration, a certain figure in the Shining City grows anxious. News of the black incident during the exam has already reached the council. "That damn brat! How could this happen? Do you know where he went?" "Mr. Reed is currently on a mission with that kid, and he asked me to tell you to mind your own business." "Damn it! That's Black. How could he take something dangerous out into the field? Has Reed lost his mind? Even if he's a hero, he's crossed the line this time." Now, word about creatures appearing in the city has spread. I barely managed to suppress it, but the council is making a fuss again. They're even asking if the black tide has begun. How am I supposed to explain this? I'm going to get torn apart. There's no way to fix this. Camellia, at least say something. "Director, you're being too hot-tempered today. Relax, or you'll end up in the hospital again. I understand your concerns, but don't be too impulsive. Reed isn't someone who acts recklessly. The woman before him is none other than the leader of the Dawn Pioneering Corps, Camellia. The one watching over the black isn't just anyone. It's the colorist Reed. Could there be a more effective safety measure? I can't imagine anyone doing it better than him. Moreover, he deliberately brought that high-risk person along this time. He might even gain something unexpected. So I think we shouldn't worry, but trust him instead." But the next second, her tone shifts dramatically. "This coffee is way too bitter. I know that as long as Reed's there, the worst won't happen. But still, that's..." Before he finishes, Camellia interrupts again. "I really don't understand why everyone loves drinking this stuff." Hearing this, the director explodes. "Camellia, can you pay attention to our conversation? I know. Keep your voice down, I'm not deaf. I know why you're so wary of black. It's because of the Black Witch, right? Black is dangerous, symbolizing death and terror, especially the first black tide caused by the witch. Humanity was nearly extinct then. Creatures appeared across the world, and everything was shrouded in black, turning into the Black Lands. But the tide will come again. Though this city has stopped several waves, large and small, the next threat is only a matter of time. The exploration activities we're desperately conducting are for survival. As for the mass anomalies around the city and the appearance of a black holder, we can't confirm they're connected yet. But one thing is certain, for humanity's future, we must try every possible method. Just as Lady Luminous said, utilize everything we can, even black. So director, please go convince the council members. The director knows she's right. That's easier said than done. I can't guarantee success, but I'll do my best. Perhaps the Shining City will have to revolve around this kid from now on. Meanwhile, Kay and the other two remain trapped in that black space. Our colors disappeared. Why haven't you changed at all? How should I know? Maybe because we are both black. After losing their colors, Gale and Ellie quickly notice something wrong with them. Even speaking loudly drains their stamina rapidly. Kay can't help but wonder, is this their first time losing color? Since entering this strange space, Kay has had a feeling. If he focuses his attention on his eyes, he can see things he couldn't see before. But before Kay can ponder this new ability, eerie sounds echo around them, though it is extremely weak. Gale immediately grabs his weapon. What is that? Show yourself. Kay notices this sound is similar to the one he often hears, yet somehow different. For some reason, he feels something bad is about to happen. At that moment, a little girl suddenly appears. Almost instantly, Kay notices her. But rather than calling her a little girl, she looks more like a creature. Why didn't we hear anything? When did she even appear? The little girl doesn't speak, only silently points at Kay. Almost instantly, black engulfs Kay. Then he sees strange visions, a massive black hole swallowing everything around it. Then lots of creatures appear. Behind them stands a massive black figure. Then a small figure appears, seemingly absorbing everything around it. And she looks neither human nor creature. Finally, all the surrounding creatures seem to be absorbed by that little girl. With that, Kay's consciousness grows increasingly blurry. He can no longer tell if this is reality or memory. He even forgets who he is. Suddenly, a white figure appears in his memory, seeming to say, "Do you need a name? Then Kay will be your name from now on. Go find your own color and light," but the next moment the words cut off abruptly, and Kay returns to that black space. He doesn't know what those visions were. He only feels a splitting headache now, but he clearly remembers the last man he saw was Lumel. Just then he hears Gale and Ellie's voices. "You bastards! Come on!" Gale roars while swinging his sword continuously, while Ellie kneels on the ground apologizing, frantically. "Sorry, I'm really sorry. Get lost. Disappear from my sight. I'm sorry, sister. I'm really sorry. I'll never do it again. Forgive me." Without a doubt, both of them are in terrible shape. Kay realizes they absolutely can't stay here any longer. At the critical moment, Nero transforms into a stream of light and flies before him. He's amazed to discover this unbearable space has no effect on Nero at all. But Nero seems anxious now, as if telling him there's something over there. So Kay decides to follow the trail Nero just left and investigate the depths of the darkness. But before that, he needs to help Gale and Ellie escape their nightmares first. Suddenly it occurs to him that if all this is caused by black, maybe Nero has a solution. Understanding Kay's intention, Nero instantly bursts out with intense light. Seeing their condition improve significantly, Kay decides to check out the place Nero mentioned alone. Then he follows Nero's trail into the depths of the darkness. After walking for a long time without reaching the end, he grows curious about where this path actually leads. Plus, that voice around him keeps making noise, saying things he can't understand. At that moment, Kay finally sees a brilliant light. It is obvious that should be the destination. As he gets closer to that light, the surroundings grow brighter. When he sees clearly what's before him, Kay knows the mission is finally complete. Because something glowing before him is a stellar fragment. Though it looks similar, this stellar fragment differs from the one Kay saw before in both light, color, and shape. He can't help but wonder if each stellar fragment has its unique form. But Kay doesn't think too much about it. The priority now is to take it out of here. After all, this place full of black makes him extremely uncomfortable. The stellar fragment before him radiates iridescent white light. The moment Kay touches it, his absorption ability activates uncontrollably. Fortunately, it doesn't last long, so Kay doesn't pay much attention to it. After removing the stellar fragment, the surrounding black begins to disappear bit by bit. Only then does Kay realize they were just in a rather large room all along. By the time he retrieves the stellar fragment, Gale and Ellie have already regained consciousness. "Are you guys okay? Look, I found the stellar fragment. Is this what Team Leader Reed mentioned? It's so small. It has so many colors." That's surprising. While they're checking on Kay, Nero sneaks up silently. At this moment, no one notices Nero quietly opening its mouth wide. Just like that, under everyone's gaze, it swallows the newly acquired stellar fragment in one gulp. In that instant, all three of them are stunned. The stellar fragment they worked so hard to get was just swallowed by Nero. In that instant, Gale completely loses it. "Damn it! Spit it out! Spit it out!" Seeing this, Kay quickly pulls him back. Let go of Nero. Little do they know, a massive crack has appeared in the room ceiling. Then, debris keeps falling from above their heads. Though they're puzzled about why this place suddenly collapsed, they have no time to find the cause now. Either way, the most important thing now is to get out of here. Meanwhile, the main force participating in this exploration activity proceeds methodically with their planned tasks. Besides gathering resources, their other objective is to identify that high-risk entity. Soon, based on traces at the scene, they identify the high-risk entity, the humanoid creature the Sword Demon, whose attacks always arrive before one's react. Arancia originally thought it was just creatures fighting over territory, but she didn't expect that one side turns out to be one of the Black Witch's Black Hands. Creatures in the pioneering zones have been surging recently. She suspects it might also be related to the Sword Demon. Investigation ends here. Let's retreat. But we're not far from this operation's destination. We've completed the main mission. Ink and raw materials have been replenished. There is no need to keep taking risks. After all, besides investigation, our purpose was to let the rookies adapt to the Black Lands. That's already been achieved, but almost the instant Arancia finishes speaking, a dazzling red light erupts in the distance. Without a doubt, this must be from Reed, and the only one who could make him act is probably the Sword Demon. Then several slashing attacks that follow completely confirm her suspicion. Arancia immediately alerts the others. To be safe, she still takes out her Spoit and rushes forward. After all, as a team leader on the same level as Reed, her strength is not to be underestimated. Seeing them unable to dodge that slash, she directly smashes the attack with one hammer strike. Exploration over. Everyone returned to the forward base immediately. I'm going to rendezvous with Team Leader Reed now. Understood? I'll take everyone back. Team Leader Arancia, please be careful. After arranging the follow-up work, Arancia transforms into an orange stream of light and disappears from their sight. On the other side, the aftershocks from the Sword Demon and Reed's fight have already turned the surroundings into ruins. But no matter how the Sword Demon attacks, Reed handles it with ease. To gain the upper hand in battle, the Sword Demon directly throws the spoit in his hand. It shoots straight at Reed like a bullet. Unexpectedly, Reed simply holds his sword horizontally and easily deflects this wave of attack. Reed with his spoit out is like an unbreakable wall, but the Sword Demon naturally won't miss this opportunity. The moment he throws his spoit, he follows right behind it. Unexpectedly, Reed simply raises his sword slightly and easily blocks this fierce strike. Before the Sword Demon can withdraw his sword, he feels a burning sensation. Turns out Reed had already set a trap while defending. Unfortunately, the Sword Demon has incredible combat instincts, allowing him to immediately withdraw from Reed's attack range, but he also understands that if this drags on, he's absolutely no match for Reed. That feint was beautifully done. Now let's see you dodge this. Turns out from the beginning, Reed had noticed Arancia heading this way, and because the Sword Demon was too focused on his fight with Reed, he never expected anyone else to show up. He's caught completely off guard. Though he manages to block with his sword at the first moment, Arancia's strike is simply too powerful. The rock walls behind him are almost completely destroyed. You're late. I almost died. Don't talk nonsense. Though I landed a heavy hit, I doubt he's dying that easily. As expected, the next second, the Sword Demon walks out. After that battle, he only has 3 spoits left on him. Reed still calmly chats with Arancia. It's fine. As long as you use a bit of color, we can easily handle this annoying guy. Don't think about slacking off. Arancia is also relieved she arrived before Reed got serious. Honestly, most colorists, including herself, don't want him fighting seriously. Then Arancia prepares to start fighting. The Sword Demon was already no match for Reed. If Arancia is added to, at this critical moment a voice comes from the hole behind. We're almost there, just a little more effort. And shortly after that voice, a hand appears at the opening. We finally escaped. This is the first time I found the Blacklands so welcoming. I really never, but before Kay finishes, he notices the abnormality around them. And the moment he looks up, 3 pairs of eyes focus on them. Oh no, of all times. Reed and Arancia rush toward them immediately. Get away! Don't confront him head on. Since the Sword Demon is closer, Reed can only warn them at the first moment. After all, at their current speed, they absolutely can't save the 3 before the Sword Demon reaches them. But unfortunately, Gale and Ellie instinctively react. Not by dodging, but by attacking. The Sword Demon casually strikes once and completely destroys their spoits. Seeing the Sword Demon raise his sword again, the same thought flashes through their minds. They're going to die here. After all, how could a human body block a sword that can even cut through spoits? At the critical moment, Kay covers his right hand with black, rushes before them and blocks the attack for them. But this move that always worked before completely fails this time. He collapses. In that instant, Gale and Ellie truly panic. But before they can react, the Sword Demon kicks Gale in the stomach. Then he moves to Ellie and grabs her by the neck. His entire movement is executed in one fluid motion. Reed and Arancia even have no chance to react. They can only be forced to stop in place. Back off, don't chase, where's the key? Give it to me or I'll kill her. Reed glances at Kay lying on the ground. His right hand has been severed by the Sword Demon. You bastard! In an instant, an immensely powerful pressure emanates from him. But with a hostage in hand, the Sword Demon feels no fear whatsoever. At this critical moment, Kay's hand suddenly moves. Decide quickly, the Sword Demon says while tightening his grip. At that moment, Reed and Arancia suddenly notice Kay has actually stood back up. Sensing something wrong, the Sword Demon immediately turns around. But when he sees Kay behind him, he's completely stunned. Who are you? At this moment, Kay is pitch black all over. Right now, he looks even more like a creature than the Sword Demon. The Sword Demon also find it unbelievable that someone could stand up after taking his strike. And more importantly, black has appeared on a human. Under their gaze, Black reforges an arm for Kay. The moment he reaches out, a terrifying suction force comes from his hand. For a moment, even the Sword Demon is caught off guard. And more importantly, this suction seems to target only the Sword Demon. All this happens so fast that even Arancia and Reed can't react. Only when Kay grabs his neck does the Sword Demon have to take this kid before him seriously. During this time, Arancia snaps out of it and rescues Ellie and Gale. Seeing this scene, Reed feels a headache coming. He didn't expect Kay to be eroded by Black after all, because if nothing goes wrong, Kay will become an existence like the Black Hand. Meanwhile, the Sword Demon also notices something wrong with this guy before him. This human possessing Black is actually plundering his color. In the Sword Demon's eyes, Kay is now just like that one. He finally understands Kay is the key. But before he can think further, the black on Kay changes again. The black spreading from his arm actually grows countless mouths with sharp teeth. The Sword Demon immediately realizes this can't continue. The instant he picks up his spoit and slashes down. All the black spreading from Kay is severed. After that contact, the Sword Demon knows taking Kay won't be that simple. So he decides to sever Kay's limbs first. Almost instantly, he slashes dozens of times at Kay, but he suddenly realizes the sensation from his sword feels wrong. It turns out those slashes have no effect on Kay right now, and Kay, withstanding the attacks, even grabs the Sword Demon's weapon. The Sword Demon instinctively looks down and discovers a large patch of black spreading toward him. Before that black bites him, he quickly leaps into the air. Without a doubt, Kay's current strength has exceeded the Sword Demon's expectations. What are you spacing out for? Before the Sword Demon lands, Arancia strikes again with her hammer. You despicable bastard, die! This hammer strike is so powerful, it literally shatters the Sword Demon's spoit. He finally realizes staying here means certain death, so without any hesitation, he flees immediately. Anyway, he's already found the key. This trip wasn't in vain. That cunning guy, wasn't he arrogant just now? How come he runs the moment things turn against him? Mister, he's heading your way. We must stop him before he reaches the depths. You filthy rat, where do you think you're going? The moment Reed speaks, his spoit turns into an incredibly pure red. Then he slashes down, directly severing one of the sword demon's arms. This is Reed's signature move, Chroma, Annihilation Flame. And even more exaggerated, even the ground behind the sword demon is split in half. Looking at his severed arm, the sword demon feels a wave of fear. So this is Annihilation Flame? A vivid red now clings like a parasite, severely restricting his regeneration ability. Then Reed attacks again. After witnessing his strength, the sword demon doesn't dare fight back and can only flee. Next time won't be like this. I will get the key. The sword demon makes threats while diving into the depths of the Black Lands. Watching the sword demon disappear into the black, Reed has to stop. Mister, let's chase him. No, it's too dangerous there. How frustrating. We were so close to catching him. Can't be helped. We're not ready to enter the depths yet. Even with light, this is as far as we can go right now. The Black Lands act like a shield, protecting those guys. At this time, Ellie and Gale walk over. We're truly sorry, team leader. We caused you trouble. It's fine as long as you're safe. Encountering that guy without casualties is already very fortunate. But speaking of which, what should we do about Kay now? Meanwhile, Kay stands there motionless. No one knows if he still has consciousness. Though Reed knew early on that Kay's power was dangerous, he didn't expect it to exceed the sword demons. But he suddenly notices Kay isn't just standing still. He seems to be absorbing the Black Lands. But this situation doesn't last long. The black covering Kay quickly disappears. But seeing this scene, they are even more shocked than before. It turns out after the black fades, Kay has become colorless, and the small patch of ground where he stood has actually recovered its original color. Seeing such a bizarre scene, they don't know what to say for a moment. Whether it's Kay being colorless or him absorbing the Black Lands, the impact on them is too great. Meanwhile, the sword demon, having fled to the depths of the Black Lands, finally stops. Only now does he finally have time to deal with the red on his body. Besides preventing regeneration, this red also brings him immense pain. So if he had dared to fight back just now, he would have certainly died at Reed's hands. I didn't expect someone to arrive before me. But what's with that look? Did someone beat you up? The girl before him is called Viper. Like the sword demon, she's one of the Black Hands. I was just getting bored. Hurry up and tell me what happened. Someone like you shouldn't get beaten down. Who did you fight? At this moment, Viper notices that red on the ground. Your wound has burn marks, and it's pure red without any other colors mixed in. Did you fight Reed? I didn't expect you could come back alive from that monster's hands. Why do you love fighting so much? You fleeing in panic looks so ridiculous. The sword demon is immediately enraged. Shut up and get lost. But Viper won't obediently listen. She keeps talking. Indeed, although Reed is human, he's too strong, and he even burns himself for battle. Someday he'll die by his own hands. By the way, why won't you answer my question? You noticed too, right? The Black Witch's barrier has been opened, Viper says while moving closer to the sword demon. You saw it too, right? Do you know how it was opened? If you know, answer me quickly. You know what the Black Witch's barrier opening means, but the sword demon doesn't want to tell Viper. After all, once he tells her the key's identity, he'll definitely be at a disadvantage. Unfortunately, though the sword demon is talented in combat, he's clearly lacking in other areas. That guy is really stupid, acting so obviously as if afraid I won't know the key has appeared. But it's fine. We can find out ourselves anyway. Looking at his stupid face, the person who opened the barrier must be related to those people in the city. Let's keep moving the creatures like we have been doing. A clue should be bound to pop out. Then let's prepare to make some waves. After returning to the Shining City, everyone gathers in Kay's hospital room. The atmosphere is quite heavy. Reed breaks the silence first. I have no face to see you all. I boasted I wouldn't let you get hurt, but I failed in the end. I'm sorry. It's all my responsibility things turned out this way. Then he takes out a broken compass, thinking sadly to himself, whether then or now, I'm still in that pathetic state. What damn hero. In the end, I haven't improved at all, Ellie speaks to comfort him. That's not true. Considering Rookie Pioneer's survival rate, what you achieved is already excellent. Without you, we couldn't have come back alive. Next time we'll definitely become stronger and won't hold you back anymore. At this moment, Mari just sits there, not knowing what to do. When they suddenly found her saying they were Kay's companions, she was startled. After all, the man before her is the Shining City's most famous colorist. At first, Mari thought they made Kay this way, but at least so far, they seem like good people. Though the nurse said Kay would wake up soon, there's still no movement until now. You're called Mari, right? Kay's friend. Hearing Reed ask her, Mari quickly answers, yes. You heard just now. Kay is fine. You don't need to worry too much. I have one more thing to ask you. We're looking for a creature called Nero. Do you know where it is? Seeing Nero emerge from Kay's shadow, Gale immediately lets out a yelp. Look, it's right there. You finally showed up. Seeing him make such a fuss, even Nero seems speechless. Team leader Reed, it was the one who ate the Stella fragment. Nero, because you disappeared. Do you know how hard it was for us to explain back then? Thinking of the embarrassment at that time, Gale can't help but lunge forward. Unexpectedly, not only does he fail to catch Nero, but it steps on his head. Then Nero dives directly into Mari's arms. I was worried about you, Nero, so you were hiding in Kay's shadow. Thank goodness you're safe. Seeing Nero before him, Reed doesn't know why, but always feels a sense of familiarity. Just when he suspects it's his imagination, Nero suddenly opens its mouth wide. Then it spits out the Stella fragment it swallowed. Ellie says with relief, it actually spit it out on its own. That's great. I was worried about how to get it out. Reed reaches toward the Stella fragment. Finally found another Stella fragment. For a moment, his eyes fill with grief. For this, so many people sacrificed. On the other side, Kay sees the sword demon again in his dream. When the sword demon's sword slashes down at him again, he jolts awake. Only then does he realize everyone is standing before him unharmed. Where is this? Where did that man go? The moment he looks down, he discovers he's turned back into Colorless. In that instant, he completely panics. He doesn't know how to explain this. Maybe he'll be kicked out of the Pioneering Corps again because of being colorless. Lift your head. Did you do something wrong? Why that miserable look? Listen, I don't care what you are. Compared to what you're worried about, your first exploration performance was excellent. That's what truly matters. Honestly, I didn't expect you could do this well. I'll continue pushing you hard from now on. I hope you're mentally prepared. Welcome to my team, K. Hearing these words, K finally lets go of the burden in his heart. I've said everything I needed to say. If you have anything to say, go ahead. I need to see Lady Luminous now, so I'll leave first. By the way, give you a reminder, until the Pioneering Corps receives special orders, you're all free to move around. After Reed leaves, Ellie is first to state her position. Kay, you have a lot to explain, but I won't ask too much. Do you remember what happened after you lost consciousness? Considering it involves the giant creature caused by him in the ink waste site, and Reed had warned him to keep it secret, so Kay has to excuse himself by saying his memory was very hazy. Alright, I'll let it go this time since you have something inconvenient to tell me. I'm telling the truth. But more importantly, is there a way to restore my color? At this moment, Mari tells him not to worry because she's already prepared. After saying this, she starts rummaging through her bag. Then she hands a bottle of black ink to Kay. It turns out this bottle of black ink was secretly obtained by Mari from the ink waste processing facility. Ellie doesn't understand why they would carry something as dangerous as ink waste. Kay says this is his personal ink. Are you sure? It is poison. But before Ellie finishes speaking, Kay directly drinks all the ink in the bottle. And after drinking it, his color actually slowly returns. Only at this moment does Kay finally feel his body is full of strength again. But just as they are happy, Gale's expression is extremely grim. Are you all done talking? I'm heading back. He says this, but stands before Kay. That arm of yours has returned to normal. But you know, only recovery-type colorists possess the advanced ability to regenerate body parts. He doesn't understand how Kay did it. But now he wants to ask Kay a question more. Why did you block the attack in front of us back then? He can never forget the scene of Kay blocking that strike for them. I just felt you were in danger, and I felt with my ability I should be able to block it. But I failed and almost caused a— Don't talk nonsense here, Gale says while grabbing Kay's collar. Who asked you to help me? His sudden outburst leaves everyone confused. I really hate your guts. Seeing Gale being so rough with Kay, Mari can't stand it and rushes up to scold him. What are you doing? Why are you snapping all of a sudden? Hearing this, Gale doesn't argue back. Instead, he releases Kay, then leaves without a word. Mari is still indignant. What's with that guy? How can he just leave without even apologizing? Ellie explains, don't mind him. That's just his temperament. Well, I should take my leave too. After some time, let's have our showdown. Since his body has recovered, Kay plans to return to the workshop with Mari. But at this moment, he thinks of the robot he encountered in the ruins. He thought Mari would like it, so he brought it back. So he searches for that ink container. But when he shows the ink container to Mari, even Mari is startled. Without a doubt, what Kay brought back is definitely not that simple. On the other side, Reed arrives at an iridescent place. Suddenly, a dazzling light flashes by. At the end of those steps appears a white figure. Reed quickly reports to her. After many days, I can finally bring you good news. Just as you predicted, we can open the Black Witch's barrier. It turns out this woman radiating iridescent white light is the legendary Lady Luminous.